Hey everyone, Pupsker here. Now that Duet Night Abyss is fully out, I wanted to go over every single character that is in the game on launch. All of them are free to play, free to farm, as this is no longer a gacha game. So let's take a look at each character. Let me know what your favorites are. We're going to quickly just look at the character itself, be like, okay, not bad, not bad. Yeah, they have jiggle physics. Okay, and we're also going to take a look quickly at their skills, but we're not going to take a look at each one of their upgrades because that'll just take a little too long. But think of it like this. This is a mixture of Warframe and any sort of like anime gacha game like, let's say, Genshin Impact, Warframe X Genshin. So you farm a character, but then you also have to farm up their talents, and in this case it's Intron, up to level 6 for the full breadth of their buffs. So remember, you can do it all free to play, but it will take a good chunk of time, especially maxing out each character. Either way, that is what it is. This is the first character we're gonna go over, Rebecca. You simply get her just playing through the main story pretty fast. And all of these characters so far are characters that you get pretty quickly on through the main story, because I'm not super far into the game yet. Maxed out right now at level 40, and I'm like halfway, maybe a bit more through the story, so it is what it is. Either way, this is Rebecca. She does water attacks. Her first attack, as you can see over here, is just straight up a water summon that does AoE water damage with a max spawn of 3. Her Lotta Love Do is an AoE water just attack. Not bad. And her passive just makes it so that when you deal melee damage, they get a Potion of Love stacks. The TLDR is you'll just do more damage, right? Deals damage to enemies, etc. and so forth. She's really cool, really strong, and her kind of like AFK ability to deal damage is really nice. Now, the next character, Berenica, you get her for free purely in your mail, in your just login queue, just by playing the game right now. You have Umbro attack, seems similar to something, and her abilities and skills are pretty cool as well. She is like a swordsman. So her first attack is just a forward AoE kind of like slash dash, dealing Umbro damage. Okay, Excalibur Umbro is cool. Her third attack, or I guess her ultimate attack, because you have your one attack and then your ultimate, I guess I'm going to call it, is a sword transformation, and when you attack, you send forward energy blades to that do damage. Interesting. When dealing with damage with Faint Light or Sword, chance to restore sanity for Berenica. Yeah, she's pretty strong and pretty cool as well. This is a character, Outsider. I haven't played him a ton yet, but he is a stealth-based character. Look at that. He has a pretty cool, like, visual look to him. One gauntlet arm and then, yeah, cool mask. First one is a invisibility, and when you Q out of it, you get some damage that attacks the enemies through spikes. Your buff ultimate attack is just really a little buff, converts to Ultra Shield, and then you spawn spikes and they attack enemies. There's more to it, but we're not going to go over everyone in huge detail there. And then when taking damage, you generate Spike that deals damage to the enemies. Not bad, not bad. And that is Outsider. Pretty cool, pretty interesting character. Next up, we have the main character. You can go either guy or girl for your main MC. I don't think it matters. Your kit's the same, but your kit's pretty simple. That's what the guy looks like. And I don't think I can go girl mode at any time or anything. You just have to choose in the beginning of the game. Skills are pretty simple. Very similar to the other sword lady, Berenica. Your first attack is just 2 forward slashing blades. Not bad, you forward slash energy. And then your ultimate is AoE and you generate shield. Okay, increase weapon damage as well. Your passive, when a Lumino bonus effect is triggered, deal additional Lumino AoE damage on the target. Not bad, not bad. So that is the MC right there. Next up, Truffle and Filbert. Her kit's a little weird, but you know, she's like one of those chibi lolly looking characters. Her skill is with the pig. So either you shoot the pig forward to deal damage, or you're riding the pig and you go like super speed Gauss mode and just go through super speedy, right? And your buff is essentially calling and jumping on your pig. Nice, nice. You get like damage, DPS, takes away your sanity. Not bad, not bad. And then you can see you have like an attack pattern as well, because you can just melee with the pig. Cool. And then your passive is you gain stacks, keep moving, increase damage dealt, and decrease damage taken. So always stay moving with her. Pretty cool character. And then the last character I've unlocked for free early on to the game just by running the main story is Margie. She's one of the first ones you get as well. She's a more basic, simple-ass character, so I don't think a lot of people will play her too much. Your first ability is just bashing people with your shovel and doing, I think, all fire damage, right? And then your ultimate is throwing explosives. Not bad, not bad. And you can consume and deal jackpot. Your passive... Okay, when the user and nearby allies pick up loot, you gain jackpot stacks, and then that's used to increase your damage on your ultimate skill through 3, 6, 9 jackpot stacks. So, stack up jackpot, do damage to the enemies. Not bad. Now, we're on to characters that I just have not played before. Now, we're with Lady Nifle. So she's pretty cool. She's like the Grim Reaper style boatman, and I absolutely adore her visual look in game. So I definitely want to pull for her when I can and start farming for her. I'm saying pull for her because I'm just used to gacha games, but realistically, we're farming a mission for her over and over until we get lucky and get her. But she seems really cool visually. Her damage skill is just AoE explosion, and then it creates lunar, creates solar, and it deals different type of damage, okay, and debuffs them differently. Movement speed, or they lose attack. Her ultimate, though, is just straight up like God mode AoE aura. Okay, X can learn skill damage, so it looks like a bunch of buffs, you do a bunch of damage, and as you can see, the entire kit kind of follows. You ultimate, and then you do increased damage with your abilities. Like, look at that, huge AoE. So, not too bad. And then your passive is doing lunar hunts. Sonar eclipse can trigger at the same location and may spawn. I'm not going over everything in detail, but yeah, more damage essentially. Not bad, not bad. Now, this is Lisbell. I'm getting close to farming her up. You just simply farm her up playing through the main story and then unlocking Mystic Maze, and you can get her from Mystic Maze, first time completions, and then later on you farm her the normal way, just farming secret scrolls or whatever they're fully called, right? So she looks pretty cool. Another little like chibi lolly looking character, short as hell, right? And then her skills are as follows. She is a heavy blade greatsword user, it looks like, right? That's her shtick. So her first attack is just AoE plunge forward, deal damage. Okay. Her second attack is huge fuck off sword attack, and then it's similar to Berenica. You do your big sword combo. And then look at that. You charge up your ultimate sword, go through your combo more, and your sword's even bigger. So pretty cool, pretty cool. Immunity to hit stun reduces damage taken. So she seems pretty interesting, and I kind of want to play her as well. And then you have a passive, combo level increases, deal more damage, higher combo level, gain enhancements. So the TLDR is you gain increased boosts at higher combo levels, more weapon range, etc. and so forth, more damage. So combo up your melee. She is a melee-based character for sure. Next up we have is Fina. I don't know if you can get her for free early on or just farming normally. Because again, you can get everyone for free by just farming them in game. But some characters you just get, again, really early on quickly. So I think you just farm her normally. Maybe we'll unlock her through quests, but I think you just farm her normally. Looks like her first attack is just an AoE damage and maybe even a damage boost. Okay, yeah, increased damage boost, not bad. And then her ultimate is also like a big AoE. But as you can see there, it spawns out some different little creatures. And then it looks like the attributes is, yeah, it costs sanity per second. It looks like it triggers around you. And it just hits different elements constantly in different like GDmon spawns. Cool. And then your passive, bad sorcerers hate sunlight. Okay, grants bonus damage. Just essentially attacking, you get bonus damage and whatnot. And then you got to keep your passive, your abilities up, and then each stack gives you damage. So just use abilities, gain damage boosts. Should be pretty easy. I just haven't played her yet because I haven't unlocked her yet. No. Next up is Psyche. Now, we've definitely played Psyche before because we see her early on. So that goes like another chibi young character into Psyche. She's like Titania. She is a floating, flying, butterfly-styled character that deals animo damage. And you play her early on as kind of like a trial, and she's the first premium character, so you can still farm her up, but hey. Your first ability is just you teleport through an area, and then it deals some damage after. And then when you're in flying mode, it shoots out butterflies that hit the enemies. So you go butterfly mode, and you have the damage cost there at level 1, right? Your ultimate is butterfly mode, and then you get a different style of auto attack. Okay, so not bad, not bad. Ultra shield conversion percentage, so you lose HP, but you get shield, so it kind of like converts it. Not bad. And your Amberlight passive, when dealing crit damage, you gain buffs, attack, skill damage, resolve boost, damage buff, gain up to 12 buffs, and that's the buff amount there. A lot of the passives come down to play the character actively, do damage, and get buffs, right? So it's pretty simple for most characters. Next up, we have Lynn. She is the sharpshooter Mesa-styled character, okay? Warframe people represent. Daily reminder to also sub, like, and if you want to support the channel, use Epic Games creator code Pupsker. I'm an Epic Games creator Epic partner, as well as a Duet Night Abyss content creator. So yeah, let me know what you think of all the characters, everyone. Love them or hate them? Yeah, let me know. We do, oh no, I'm skipping ahead. So she is Mesa essentially. Her abilities, first ability is she just shoots with her Q, and it's like a forward blast attack. Very awesome, deals good damage, kinda love it. And then you can see there's the sanity cost, damage, etc. Her ultimate ability is, you might notice this as Mesa. She goes into bullet time, gunpowder revelry. She stays still and then just starts shooting out at enemies. And the more you attack, the more buffs you get, such as a lot of attack speed buffs up to, I think it said 35 stacks. So you just constantly shoot. You're an auto turret. And then her passive is when not shooting, gain stacks of preload. When shooting, it uses all of them for increased damage stacks. So there you go, more damage buffs. Either way, Lynn looks really cool. Here we have Sibylle, my next, one of the other characters I definitely sim for. Love her, right? God damn, the jiggle physics are so goddamn funny. Either way, she's awesome. She looks really cool. Electro character, not bad. Her skills are as follows. I think this one, oh my god, it's an electric mommy stomps on you with her heels, and then it has AoE electric after. Like, that's her leg and her heel. Okay, so she is this game's a little horny, if you haven't noticed, which is okay. And I'm just gonna keep calling it out. The thirst is real. Step on me with Divine Conqueror. Ooh, ooh. Next up is her ultimate. It's a summon. You summon this sweet black hole. You shoot into the black hole and it does AoE damage to all of the enemies. This is very similar to some other characters in Warframe. What is it, like Mag possibly? But it's not like something we haven't seen before. Shoot things, link, and does damage to enemies. But look at the big damage buffs it gives. So you do a lot of damage to enemies. Very good at like farming in one spot, and then the enemies run in and you just shoot the orb and they die. Mighty Thunder. So when damage dealt triggers a certain point, Might of Thunder up to 300 points. Divine Conqueror Stormcaller can be empowered by consuming Might of Thunder. So yeah, use your abilities, and once in a while when you summon, big buffs, big buffs. So that is Sibylle. She looks really cool. I can't wait to unlock her. This is Tabethe, and she is like tentacle sea creature squid monster, as you can see, reminiscent of Warframe character Hydroid. So very cool. If we look at her buff, her first ability, command all summoned tentacles to attack forward, and they just deal damage, right? Might seem a little similar, might seem a little Hydroid-y, not super unique. Her ultimate is summon 9 tentacles around Tabethe. They attack enemies and take on her stats. So the stronger your character, the stronger the tentacles. Look at that. Summons for 12 seconds. Not too shabby. At level 1, it can go up probably more later on. Passives, dealing crit damage using a ranged weapon, chance to summon a tentacle near the target. Maximum of 18 tentacles can exist at the same time. Oh. Yeah, it can only be triggered once per second though. And the tentacles again summon her or inherit her stats. So you summon 9 tentacles, but you can have up to 18 tentacles possibly through summoning and then shooting, or double summoning. Not 100% sure, but yeah, that's Tabethe. She looks pretty cool, but definitely reminiscent of Hydroid. Here we have... Okay, I think this character looks really cool. This is Phantasio. This is Phantasio's main form as a person, right? And you can see the skills. First one is it's just like a little AoE forward attack, but then when you're in art, like you do Ario mode, so you essentially have normal Phantasio and then you have armored mode, right? And it's just forward AoE damage. It's either you shoot forward or you jump forward. And then your ultimate is curtain up, where you go armor mode. You turn into a, I don't know what to call this. It's very reminiscent of like Valkyr, but it's a cool kind of werewolf looking ass character. You have forward cuts, you do your chest beam. I love it. It looks really cool and I can't wait to unlock this character. Very excited for Phantasio. And then your on-stage skill, it would take a while to read all this, but TLDR, when you're in beast mode, you just gain a bunch of damage boosts, and as long as you attack enemies, you're gaining your Beast Fury and like buffs. So don't worry about it too much, but if we do a deep dive into characters, I'll definitely read through the full skill info and skills. It's not worth it for a quick overview, because I'm mainly excited to look at all the characters and what their abilities look like. This is Hellfire, Dommy Mommy fucking demon of hell. God damn, there's gonna be so much artwork of her online. Congrats to R34 artists. You're always eating good whenever anime style games come out. So, mwah. Beautiful. So she's a pyro damage lady, and she is the devil. I love her. She is my waifu. First attack is buff. You do AoE fire damage, and you take damage and deal AoE damage, it looks like. Okay. Oh no, if you take damage during it, it extends. So you just straight up deal AoE damage for fire. So that's pretty cool, similar to just AoE Gyre, just AoE damage around you, if you want Warframe terms. And then if we look at her ultimate, you do AoE fire stomp, similar to the electric stomp, and taunts enemies. And it deals a lot of damage. So you just have like AoE nuke, similar to Rebecca. Her ultimate is also an AoE nuke. So yeah, I love it. Thank you, Dommy Mommy Hellfire. Fuck yeah. Increase max HP and continuously restore HP. That is your passive. So you are just, holy shit, you're tanky as hell, dude. No wonder your first ability is based on like taking damage increases the amount of second duration. So you're really tanky. You deal AoE damage. You're a bruiser tank. You just take damage and deal damage. I love it. She's awesome. This is Yale and Oliver. I don't know. I think it's a kid with multiple personality disorder, because his voice lines, he has like 2 of them. And yeah, so this is weird PTSD kid. I don't like him as a character yet, but maybe I'll like him as I actually play the game. First ability is Taunt Popper. It looks like, okay, no, his abilities look pretty sweet. You're dropping AoE bombers. You're a B752 bomber. Okay, okay. Not bad. So you have Yale's make and Oliver's make. So similar to Equinox, you have your one side and then your other side. One has more damage, one has less damage, and then one has more width, one has less width. So yeah, just damage difference on that, it looks like. And then you have Nightmare's Grasp. Looks like you go sicko mode. Oh yeah, you just use Nightmare Lab around you. And it looks like you can just blow everything up at once. Bonus damage multiplier per taunt pop detonated. Okay, so for this one, you just straight up build up all of your explosives, and then they pop off at once and do a ton of AoE damage, and they do more damage the more you have up. Pretty cool, actually. He looks like somewhat of an interesting character. When Taunt Popper is deployed, if no less than 2 meters above the ground, deals pyro damage to nearby enemies upon landing. So if you're too high up, it just explodes, so stay lower if you don't want it to explode, it seems like, and then chain them up that way. Not bad. Not bad at all. Here we have the character Daphne. You unlock her pretty easily early on for free as well. I think I'm either able to quickly farm her via an event, or I'm almost through the main story quest where I do unlock Daphne, but keep that in mind. She's actually a very early-ish on quest or main character that you can earn through events. And her skills are as follow. Her Q is just a straight up heal. I think there's a handful of characters that heal one way or another. Either way, yeah, her Q is just a straight up heal, and she generates Azoth projectile, which it looks like ranged weapon, hold up to 30, and then each range attack consumes them, does damage. Cool. Her ultimate is AoE buffs, decreases attack on enemies and deals damage to them. Heals you and allies. So she is the main healer and buffing character for sure, it seems. You do AoE heal, you do AoE damage, and you do AoE nerfs to the enemies. Yeah, no, that's pretty cool. Good stuff. She seems pretty interesting, but she's definitely like a support healer character. So if you're doing publics, you're good, but make sure you have strong support AI phantoms with you when you run her. Because her damage is low overall. But your melee and gun, as long as it's upgraded, it'll still do good damage. Now, this is Randy. Randy is Electro, and I like his vibe. He seems pretty cool. Like, I like him as a character. He looks pretty good. You have your first ability, which is like a defensive, it looks like. He chucks up a defensive shield right in front of him. Okay, absorbs damage, blocks projectiles, reduces attack, shoots out periodic damage as well, so I think if you get close to it, you take damage like the enemies, so not bad, not bad. Next up is Special Gift. This is, oh shit! You throw down an electric spear onto the ground, and it looks like it does some AoE damage, nice. And it shields Randy, gives him some damage boosts, or like shield, not bad, not bad. Very strong. And your passive is just defense boost. You get more stacks. When Randy grants Ultra Shield to a teammate, you get defense stacks, and yeah, you get even more, and it stacks up to 10. So, hell yeah. Like I said, most of the characters run down to like, use their abilities, get passive buffs based on the character. So, it's simple. Play the game, get buffs. And this is the final other new character, or all of the characters. This is Rhythm. I think she looks a lot like that one blue-haired Genshin character. I think it might be, is it Fina? Yeah, she looks exactly like Fina. And I thought that was really funny, because her entire shtick is like one for one Fina, but a little different. Anime ladies are only so unique after so long. Blue hair, blue outfit, same vibe. Yeah. Either way, she is an electric character. She looks pretty cool. You have your Volt Rush damage attack, which is just straight up, you run forward, jump forward, I should say, and it looks like you hit enemies with AoE electric damage. Oh, it seems pretty high too. Good Nuke is like a regular ability. And then your Electro Vortex is your ultimate. With that one, you definitely do AoE electric, and you hit enemies with AoE electric. Oh shit, this is legitimately very similar like Volt or Bunny. Oh god, she looks pretty cool. I like the idea. So you do a bunch of damage, and then you slowly do AoE radial damage for about 6 seconds, it looks like. Or in just sanity cost up until... Okay, cool. Not bad, actually. Not bad. When consuming sanity, converts percentage of consumed sanity into electric energy. Upper limit of electric energy is equivalent to sanity. Okay, so use abilities, smack the hell out of enemies with electricity. Dang, dude. No, she seems pretty cool. Rhythm, OP. Either way, everybody, that is every single character in Duet Night Abyss. Quick TLDR of them, fun to learn them, and now I'm a little more excited of more of the characters, okay? Like, I didn't know Rhythm was so cool. I didn't know that Yale and Oliver was like a B-52 bomber. And Hellfire, even more excited for the Dommy Mommy. So, yeah. Let me know what you think, everybody. If you want to support the channel, sub-like. Check out all my socials. Randomly, I'll be streaming on YouTube and Twitch. Duet Night Abyss a lot for at least the first couple of weeks on launch. So, let me know, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. Cheers.